Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on Positive Strokes, staying clean. And I'm so happy that you're a part of my recovery. And today we're going to talk about looking back. Yes, looking back to our past. And as I look back to my past and my active addiction, especially when it was going my way, is when I had plenty of dope and I had plenty of money and I was living the life of Raleigh. I thought that my way was the best way. I thought that by having money showed me that I was doing the right thing. And I was telling people this is the type of attitude and type of person that you should be because this is how I'm being blessed. So you should get it the same way I'm getting it. Illegal. So you can live the life that you choose to live. And it worked for a lot of years. And I believed that this was the true path. I thought that what I was doing was the best course of action for myself because money made me have things and do things that I normally would not be able to do unless I had money. And I was enjoying life on life's terms and I was having a great time and I was loaded all the time. And I thought this is the life that I should have. But when my situation took the money out of the equation, when my drug became my prison, when I became addicted to the drug that I loved so much, and it took me down a rabbit hole of homelessness and pain, emotional and mental pain, and my course of action that I was taking was totally wrong. And how did I come to that conclusion that my choice was wrong? Well, I thought because what I had and I had it going on that I was shining and I was letting everybody know, hey, yeah, I got it going on. I got this, I got that, I got this going on and that. And I thought that this was the life. This was the great life that I had. I had a little taste of what it felt to have money and to enjoy it in the manner that I did. I mean, when you come from being poor and then being able to spend anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 a day without no problem, I mean that's a big jump. And my head got swollen because of the money. But what recovery taught me is that I wasn't living life on life's terms. I wasn't living my best life. I wasn't living. I was just showing myself in it like I was in a movie. I was presenting myself, but it wasn't true happiness. I didn't have true friends because I realized and learned quickly that when you have money, you're spending $3,000 and $7,000 a day, that there are people that are around you that will blatantly kiss your ass because they want a piece of that money or they want some dough and they will cater to you. And that meant that I didn't have true friends, that all my people that associated with me had something that they wanted from me. They either wanted dope or they wanted some money, or they just wanted a good time, to party. Those three things. They were not concerned about my welfare. They wasn't concerned about my health. They wasn't concerned about nothing about me. But I thought that I was living the life of Riley. I thought I had a group of people that really cared about me until my pleasure became my prison. And I didn't have it anymore. And these so-called people that were supposed to be my friends, whoop, disappeared. And I suffered in active addiction for a lot of years. I had to face my own fears. I had to work on myself. And in my recovery, what happened was I met people that were like me, that were struggling from addiction, that they honestly shared their story with me, men and women. They hugged me and said, it's okay. They were truly being concerned about my welfare. They was being concerned about my life. And these people that were treating me in this manner were strangers to me. But we had one thing in common. We were all addicted to drugs. Yes, we were all addicted. But the greatest feeling was that you felt the sincerity, the commitment, the caring that these people had for me that allowed me to not feel ashamed about where addiction took me, but gave me the strength and the gumption to move forward in my recovery. When I had all that money, nobody was telling me to do something right. All they're concerned about is keep doing the same thing. They wanted more dope. Can I get some dope from you? Yeah, we're partying. Let's go. Come on, Rob. You're the man. Yes. Women catered to me because I had money and dope. And when you go into recovery and you realize that you duped yourself and you con yourself in the manner that I did, because I believed the lie that people told me that I was their best friend, that they cared about me. They were all lies because all they wanted to do was to get what I had to offer them. And when I was in recovery and when I started my recovery journey and it hit me, I conned myself by the lies people told me. I duped myself. And when I looked at my situation from the past with clear eyes and a recovery mind, I realized I conned and duped myself. That people catered to me because they had an ulterior motive. They had a motive. They wanted something. And I just could not see their ulterior motive at that particular time because I was feeling good. I was happy. I was getting catered to. And I thought this was genuine, but it was all a lie. A lie. And in recovery, I've learned in living life on life's terms that this is something that happens even in recovery. That when you're doing good, there are people that are genuinely happy that you're doing good, but there's other people that want something from you because you're doing good. Or they want to drag you through the mud because they're doing bad and misery loves company. So recovery taught me that, Robert, you need to watch yourself. Pay attention to yourself and your surroundings. Because remember how you duped and conned yourself by the things that people said and did to you in your act of addiction when you had plenty of money and dope? Do you remember how you was treated? But then when you lost all that and you came into recovery, none of those people was around to help you at any course of action? Ain't come visit you when you was in prison? Didn't send you nothing to help you survive in prison? When you think back to your past, who was there for you when you were struggling? Who was there was trying to direct you to go do another path? In my recovery, I got to see the true meaning of commitment, the true meaning of love, the true meaning of helping someone else from the heart, not for a ulterior motive to get something that you want from them or get them to side with you on a certain manner. Another thing I learned that I allowed money and dope to make me feel like I'm better than because I had it going on. But the interesting thing is, I didn't know that I was slowly destroying myself and causing myself to be addicted to cocaine. I didn't know that I was destroying my body. I had multiple heart attacks. I died and must have came back 9, 10, 11 times. I was so malnutrition that I had to eat every 2 hours, and if I didn't, I would get hunger pains so severe that that's how painful it was, very painful. So I had to eat every 2 hours because I shrunk my stomach. I had more cocaine in my system than blood. I was killing myself. But I thought I had it going on. Why? Because I had money and I had dope. I conned and manipulated myself. I believed the lie. So in recovery, it taught me and showed me who I was, what I was all about to me, in a clear mind and a clear head. And that's where recovery started. When I realized I duped and conned myself because I allowed what people told me to buff my ego and my head, I made life very difficult for myself. I had to deal with being homeless. I had to deal with someone setting my sleeping bag on fire while I was still in it. I could tell you some stories. The point I'm trying to make is that I had to understand where I was at, what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of doing. I had to learn Robert, truly understand Robert, his actions, his feelings, his emotions. Recovery is about learning about yourself and not allowing people, places, or things to divert us from our primary purpose of living clean and sober, to live our best lives. People can buff your ego because you have, this is the thing. I remember when I was working, I got my check, and I was going out. When I go out, I put on my clothes, my binds. I'm dressed up, got money in my pocket. You can't tell me nothing. I know I look good. That's when I had all my teeth. But the point I'm trying to make is that I thought I had it going on. I thought I was somebody. I pumped my own self up to be more than what I was. I pumped myself, act like I know everything when I didn't. But the greatest gift recovery has given me is to live life on life's terms. The greatest gift recovery taught me is that we all make mistakes. We're all trying to survive to live our best lives. We make the choices that we do because it's beneficial to us, not somebody else. And a lot of times we make bad choices. Some of us will be ashamed of the choices we made and the mistakes we made and own up to them. Some of us will hide it and act like we never did it. Some of us will use others to get to second base in their lives, with no regard to their other people's feelings. But this is a part of life. The program says, Robert, you cannot control people, places, or things, but you can control yourself if you pay attention to yourself. And when you look back on your past, you see how many mistakes you have made. So if you make a lot of mistakes, the person next to you makes a lot of mistakes also. We all make mistakes. The mistake is never important. It's what we do after the mistake. That's what's important, because we have an option to correct our direction. I corrected my direction from addiction and went down a road in recovery that I knew nothing about. I did not know where recovery was going to land me. Now, the life that I have now, I did not plan this. This is where recovery has taken me. This is where recovery has given me, because I'm being honest and open with my recovery. I'm living life on life's terms. I understand that I'm imperfect and I make mistakes. That means my wife is imperfect and she makes mistakes. That means my mother, she made mistakes because she wasn't a perfect person. We all make mistakes. And I'm very sorry that it took me too long to come to this conclusion. But I'm thankful that recovery saved my life. Because if I would continue in the direction that I was going, I'd be dead. And the interesting thing is that I came across death a lot of times in my life. I don't know, 10 or 15 times, people trying to drown me to death. Yeah, drown me to death. I went through car windows. There's so many things and situations that I've been into that I was very close to death. but I survived because I was good at what I did. And by me realizing how close so many times that I was to death, I realized that a power greater than me has a purpose for me because I'm not supposed to be here. My purpose is to share my story, my strength, and my hopes with you. To let you know that check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because here's the thing, nobody can do nothing to you unless you allow them to. You can blame somebody for all the bad acts they do towards you, but you allowed them to because you was hoping they would change their behavior, that they would finally see the light. So you can't be upset and mad when they constantly do the same thing and you're hoping that you'll get different results. Recovery taught me to see things clearly, not with clouded eyes, not with what I want, my hopes and my dreams. To see life the way it is. To learn to make myself better. When I work on Robert, my life gets better. I see things clearly. I understand things more. I understand the truth and not the clouded judgments of others. Recovery is a beautiful thing. Recovery is living life on life's terms, understanding that I have no control over people, places, or things, but I do have control over Robert if I pay attention to Robert. And that's the truth. I can protect myself if I'm paying attention to myself. But if I got my nose in everybody else's business, that means I'm not paying attention to myself. And I miss the pitfalls and the mistakes that I make because I'm in somebody else's business. I can't save nobody. That's not happening. Each person can save themselves by doing the next right thing, but they have to choose to do the next right thing. They must clean the wreckage of their past. I can't clean their wreckage. It wasn't my mistakes. It wasn't my problem. It wasn't my issue. But what I can do is tell you how I messed up my life, my mistakes, and what I did to change my behavior and to move forward in my recovery. And by me telling my story, my situation, and what I did to make my life better, that I'm hoping and praying that when you look at yourself honestly and openly, that you'll make the right decision to change your behavior because I can't help you. I only can give you what works for me and what did not work for me. I can let you know that I have to work on myself to make myself better. Nobody can make myself better. I can make myself better. I can do better. I can make better choices. But I have to work on myself. Oh, but the greatest thing and excuse me, the most upsetting thing is to watch someone we love and we care about go through some unnecessary pain and unnecessary hurt because they keep going down the same road expecting different results. It hurts. But in reality, until they chose to change their behavior to do the next right thing, there's nothing that I can do. I can say all that I can say. I can express all that I can express about the situation. I can do all that I do. But the final decision comes up to the person that needs to do what needs to be done. And all you can do is hope and pray that they get it. You know, you ever hear the parents say, I've been praying my son to change his behavior. I've been praying every night on my son, and he finally changed his behavior. His life has gotten better. He went a different way. My prayers were answered. He didn't change until he made a decision to change. So the people that you love, when they make a decision to change their behavior, that's when the change comes. There's nothing that you can say or do to make them change their behavior until they choose to change their behavior. But you can let them know what you believe in, what you stand for, and what you will help, and what you will not help. And the most greatest thing in recovery, nobody said, I told you so. Nobody said, I told you so. When a person relapses, they said, welcome back. We're happy you made it back to the rooms alive. We're family. We're here for you. You need to find out what made you pick up to relapse. We'll work together so you can find out for yourself. A lot of people don't come back to the program of recovery after they relapse because they're ashamed of what they did, that they feel they're losing their prestige of the years that they have in their recovery. But the point is that it doesn't matter how much time you had or how much time you was clean. All you have is today. Work on today. Stay clean and sober today. And when tomorrow comes, you do the same process. I don't care about how much time. I used to. And what happened was, by me saying I got years, that buffed my ego, my head. But after I had relapsed and gotten back into recovery, I kept it simple. One day at a time. I'm going to stay clean for this 24 hours. And that's how I do it. I don't put one foot in tomorrow and one foot in yesterday so I can piss on today. No, I don't do that. What I do is I focus on today, doing the next right thing today. And my life gets better each and every day. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but the blessings always materialize if I work for them. I hope what I shared today makes you think about your recovery. I hope what I shared about my recovery and my past helps you understand that you can do what you do, but there's always consequences on your actions. I thought having made me that big man, but I wasn't happy. Why? Because I was living a fantasy. The drugs and the money made me live a fantasy, not life on life's terms. I hope that you find your way in recovery, find your way of living your best life, doing the next right thing. And your life will get better. Your life will have meaning, it'll have hope, and you'll be smiling on the inside. And you'll never have to wonder about how people view you and think about you, because you're living life on life's terms, one day at a time. This is Robert Gummy for Positive Strokes, wishing you a great, I believe, Thursday. No, Friday. Ooh, it's coming to the weekend. So I hope that you're all ready for the weekend. I hope that you have some plans with family, friends, and strangers. Enjoy yourself. Live life. Enjoy yourself. But remember, keep the focus on yourself so you don't make as many mistakes as Robert Goodman has in his life. You have a great and wonderful day.